There are two tigers. One was raised in captivity while the other in the wild. The one raised in captivity had everything the tiger in the wild could have wished for. Safety, a loving family, regular meals, and the appreciation of a crowd that would visit him daily. All he had his entire life was love and happiness. Now, the tiger raised in the wild lived in harsh conditions. He had to see his family either being hunted down and killed by a crowd or killed by other tigers. He always had to scavenge for food, fight other tigers, and every day he lived in fear of what might happen in the next 5 seconds. The captive tiger, if put in the wild, wouldn't last 5 minutes since he was spoiled and would be easy prey to the other tigers. The wild tiger, if put in captivity, also wouldn't last 5 minutes because the captors would have to kill him since he would resist every attempt to be domesticated. The captive tiger is weak while the wild tiger is strong. The captive tiger was restrained of his abilities while the wild tiger was able to fully express them. Congratulations to you if you wish to be more like the wild tiger, but even now, knowing personally how strong the wild makes you, I will choose captivity every single day. There is no one, absolutely no one in the world, that would choose the wild willingly. Every single extraordinarily strong and successful person that I know, their past is absolutely horrible. There are some successful people who don't come from a horrible past, but they are not strong. There are certain positions in life that we want that require that we become extremely controversial figures, and that type of don't care attitude can only come from extreme suffering. Every single day you're getting pounded over and over again. There are absolutely no breaks. When you think you've had enough, rock bottom will hit you again. Now, you might think that when you've gathered enough power and isolation, the attacks will stop, but they will increase. However, there's absolutely no problem. Do you know why? Because you were raised in the wild, this is what you were made for. Actually, you've eaten so much crap that this is what you crave. The chaos, the conflict, the fight. And if anyone dares to try to domesticate you, they're the ones who will be put down. God knows that if you knew what you would have to go through to get to that powerful position, you'd say no. So, he puts you in a situation where you will want to say yes to more pain, where you know and understand why you must say yes to more pain. You embrace your destiny, you embrace the hardship. Let God kill you over and over again, and no one will be able to hurt you anymore when it's time for you to do the damage. There was an athlete who was said to be the next big thing. Do you know where he is now? Drinking in bars. Do you know why? He couldn't handle the pressure. When you're about to do something great, it's not just love that comes your way, but a lot, and I mean a lot of hate. Your friends, family, and neighbors, the people you have 5 minutes of interactions with, like the mailman or the cashier, who they all thought you were equals, start to resent you. And if you haven't suffered enough, you won't be able to handle the suffering that comes from being hated. But this is just speculation. Maybe he just wasn't disciplined, and it was indeed too much pressure having everyone counting on him. Although people that suffered a lot who had the same gifts and initially didn't desire at all to be famous athletes were successful and didn't mind the pressure at all because they were already used to the discomfort and criticism. I choose the wild. No, not really, but I must. I like being strong. I like being the tiger that everyone knows not to mess with. I like that the captive tiger thinks he's strong, but he knows that if we're locked up in a cage just the two of us, he'll turn into a kitten really quick. And when the other wild tigers come to attack, I will stand my ground and beat them all. And after I'm badly injured, tired, and incapacitated, the captive tiger will call his friends, they will stab me in the back and declare victory. But that's what God is for, justice.